Good morning, everybody. I look really dark, don't I? Let's try that. No, that's worse. Let's get rid of that. Let's turn this off. Let's do this. There. Does that look normal? I guess I look normal now. Hey, everybody. My name is Gary. We are going to get started on our Thursday episode. Today, I'm going to go to denverguitarorchestra.com and post our link for the project today. Today we are working on row your boat for the fourth time this week. We're going to get that sucker nailed down tight. And then we're also working on The More We Get Together, which is a relatively new tune to the series. I haven't taught it very often. I like the tune, and I think it's cute and fun, and we're going to work on that one. And then our main song for today is Malaguena. And it's not really a song, but a collection of ideas. And so we will be seeing how that comes together. And that's for the book 3 people. That's people who are getting pretty far into this fingerstyle business. And then that's our plan for today. Tomorrow we have a concert planned for the Friday morning, afternoon for some of you guys concert. Let me post this on Twitter / Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. And then I wait patiently. My face pops up. And I add in our logo. Denver Guitar Orchestra. Open. And then I hit tweet. And now we are famous. And then I close Twitter because Twitter makes you dumber. Twitter doesn't make you dumber. I have it set where it's almost all news organizations. So I actually learn the news about 10 minutes before everybody else learns the news on Twitter. And so that's why I do Twitter. It looks like I have some notifications. People have been responding to my Twitter. Apparently I'm getting super famous. I'm like the... Who's famous from Twitter? I don't know. Somebody. All right, let me close this out. Everybody will be wandering in here in the next minute or two. We start at 5 minutes after. It's 4 minutes after I say hi to everybody and run my yap for a little while. It's 7 after before we actually get started. But that's okay. This is a great time for you to be tuning up your guitar, playing through all the things, making sure you have the 3 pieces of sheet music today. I noticed as I was posting, this is lesson number 222. 222 guitar lessons since last March, which seems pretty crazy. And I hope at some point someone online something I've said clicks with you and has made it possible for you to be a better guitarist. I don't anticipate much changing in the next 222 lessons. I don't see us getting out of this situation we are in America anytime soon. And so I'm just going to keep doing this. And hopefully it works for you. I will mention that on Thursday nights, we have our level 4 group. Level 4 music isn't posted on the website. You have to send me an email because I want to know who you are. I want to know who has that stuff. It's all full of copyright challenges. And for me, it's not that I'm trying to keep it from you, but I'm trying to keep Disney's attorneys happy that I'm not just taking their music, doing what I want with it, and handing it off. What we're really doing with it is teaching you how to play it at your house by yourself, and that's it. That's what we're doing, and there's absolutely fair use associated with that. But posting it on the web makes them very nervous. Even when we're doing these lessons, I get copyright strikes against the videos, which is crazy, but that's what they got a bot that goes around, and if it suspects that you are playing a song that they own, they're like, oh, that's a copyright violation. You can't get paid for that. And so I'm like, well, I don't get paid for it anyway, whatever. So I got this little pile of harmonicas here. I cleaned out my harmonica drawer. I have this little pile of them. And I don't know why I put them there. That's the worst possible place I could have put them. Let's see who's in this morning. Vic, sound is good. It's cloudy up in Eugene, and the news sounds scary. Oh no, I don't think I paid attention. I do know that if we were under the notion that we were a couple weeks away from suddenly being safe to go outside again, we were confused. That's not at all what's going on in our world, is it? So I hope all of you are working to get your vaccine as quickly as possible. I hope all of you are thinking, you know what, I can see my family when everybody's vaccinated up. We are living through some pretty crazy, scary times, and the numbers have reached a point of being have long since been catastrophic. And so we don't talk about that here. We hope that this is just a safe, easy place for you to be for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we go on about our day doing the important work of surviving. Here, you get a chance to escape, let all your problems go away. The problem you'll have is your left hand won't do what it's supposed to do, and your right hand won't do what it's supposed to do. Those are the kind of problems we want in life. The benefit of being here is you get smarter, you get more agile, you get cooler because you can play music, it's just something that I think hopefully provides you with a chance to just escape and do something fun. It's when it's cloudy in Eugene, it's supposed to be cloudy in Eugene. We're cloudy here in Denver as well. So I like it when you guys log in and give me a weather report of what's going on in your neighborhood. Pauline is here. Good morning. Have you sent the secret song for tonight? I did, Pauline, in the last email. It was right in the group email. There was a PDF link. If you didn't get it or deleted that email already, just toss me a note, Pauline, and I will toss you secret song number 2. I'm very excited about secret song number 2. If I remember right, there's only 9 notes in it. There's only 9 notes, but it is just a beautiful little tune. And so I'm excited to go over it tonight and then play it next week. So if you did not get it from the previous email, just toss me a note and I will send you one. Good morning, Elizabeth. 22 degrees up in northern Colorado. I don't like cold weather. I'm really a baby. I don't like hot weather. I don't like cold weather. I need it to be about 75 to 85 all of the time. Down in Cuenca, it's 70 degrees today. Sunny. That's got to be beautiful there. That's got to be the perfect day in Cuenca. Glad you're here, Evelyn. All right. Glad you're here, Elizabeth. Glad you're here, Pauline. Glad you're here, Vic. Row your boat. Let's go knock that sucker out. We've talked about it 3 days in a row, so at this point, there's not a lot else to talk about of it other than seeing how smooth and how beautiful and how meaningfully you can get it played. Okay, 3 ways through. I'm going to sing and pluck the first time. I think I will put an arpeggio pattern on it the first time. Then I want to play the melody the second time, and then the third time through, I want to play the tough act. So all 3 ways. 1, 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, let's get ready for the melody. 1, 2. Do it again from the top. Okay, and then tough acts. Ready, play. So fascinating. I'm reading a book on classical guitar. That's not really like about the music. It's about, these weird random things that are not associated with your just making music. And one of the chapters is entirely on how to do your fingernails. And guess what? Gary doesn't care about his fingernails, so Gary does not have his fingernails done properly today, and they kept sticking, right? And so there is some fingernail management that goes along with this activity. This hand, of course, you cut them all off. This hand, you cut your pinky off because you're never going to use that in guitar. And then these guys, I try to grow them out a little bit, so I have the option of either plucking with the flesh or plucking with the nail. But you can't. But like most classical guitar players, serious ones, they'll grow them out real long, or they go to the nail salon and have those put on. Those I don't know what they call them, some sort of thing on, and I don't know how they do that. If they have any kind of a job, any kind of a life, if you ever have to do the dishes, if you ever have to pick up a box, I just don't know how they do that, because every time I've tried to grow mine out, they end up breaking off. And so today my thumbnail is being a bit of a brat. And of course, I have this little kit with my fingernail stuff in it, and I don't know where it's at. It's supposed to be right here. It's not here. So you'll be putting up with that. Row, row, row your boat. I think row, row, row your boat is the entryway into true fingerstyle playing. I think everything on that piece of paper is something you're going to use in the advanced fingerstyle stuff. So I think mastering that would be a real tremendous idea. Let's go on to... what's the next one? The More We Get Together, and it's a newer song that I haven't taught often, and so we'll see what's in it. As I recall, it's British in origin, and it is super sweet and super fun. But I don't know a ton about the song, I think, other than I like it. Let me see if I have it here. Why isn't it? Did I not put it in book 2? Maybe I have the old book 2. Oh, there it is. All right. So with this one, we are talking about, of course, G chord. We had a long talk in my guitar class last night for the city of Lakewood, index, middle, and ring, how difficult that is. And those of you guys that are newer, you're like, yeah, it is difficult. And those of you guys who've been around a while, you're like, it's not so difficult. Index, middle, ring. Okay, and then that's going to a D chord, and then right back to a G chord. So the D chords only show up for 3 beats, and then they go right back. So you gotta. It's a good piece of music to get that, and that is one of the more challenging chord pairs, right? Because everything has to move. G. I find with G chord, if I can get my index finger down first, then the other two are they've learned to behave. And then with D chord, I teach that you should probably shoot with your index finger, middle, and ring. But I'm noticing as I'm doing it that my middle finger is actually hitting first here, and then the other two are popping on. So I think it may depend on the chord pair, but most of the time I lead with my index finger. Occasionally my middle finger will take the job of finding its place first, and then the other two guys behave. And it appears as I'm going from G down to D that my middle finger may be playing every bit as important of a role as my index finger. And you guys know as you get further into playing guitar, how quickly you can change chords becomes ever more important, because you are going to end up with a whole lot more chords as we go along. And so I think sometimes just sitting at the couch, just doing that for a while, just training your hand to do what it's supposed to do. Just training your hand so it knows what's going on, so that there's less chaos over here. Let's sing it just one time through. I don't know if I can sing this song or not, but we'll try. 1, 2. The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Okay. All right. That's a song of the times, right? Just realizing, oh wait, we can't get together. No wonder we're all miserable. We can't do what this song says. And my friends are probably not your friends. So this whole song is just a mess. Let's then talk about the melody. As I look through, when I'm attacking a melody, the first thing I do is look through and see what challenges I'm going to find. I see 1s, 2s, and 3s. So this is another awesome song to just work on. Talking your index finger to doing the 1s, middle finger doing the 2s, and the ring fingers to doing the 3s, and really nothing else. When I see a G chord, it's unlikely it's unlikely that this is going to cover all your melody notes. There's something about G on guitar. It just doesn't work quite as nice and neat as D chord often does. And so I would play this piece positionally. I also see a ton of zeros in here. And so when you see zeros, you're going to be having these long notes, and you have to make decisions about that. If this is your note, you hear how long it rings out? That's going to be stepping on top of other notes that you're about to play afterwards. And you may like that or you may hate that. If it's ringing on too long, a lot of times I'll just take the palm, I don't know what you call this part of your hand, this part, and just tap it down on the strings so that to stop the note from ringing out, right? It just stops that ongoing ringing, particularly on these 3 metal strings. They ring an awful long time, and they will start to get in the way of other notes that you're playing. I would say if you've had any background with piano and you're playing your piano, you have the sustain pedal. Well, it sounds much better if you're just camped out on that sustain pedal for a measure. But then we get in the next measure and the chord change. There's sort of this muddy sound that starts to come out of the piano, and you have to lift up your foot to get that to stop, and then you put your foot back down to get the sustain going again. Same with guitar, you magically get sustain. It's already there, and so then you have to start to think about whether it's serving you or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but you sort of are in this situation where you're like, right, just a little tap with the heel of your palm. Is that what that is? I don't know what they call that. It'll stop that chaos going on around you. All right, let's give it a try. Melody only, please. 2 times through. 1, 2. Back to the top. So first I went through with my thumb. Challenge with playing your thumb is that getting onto the right string is a little more difficult. You have this tendency when you have a string jump, if it's just straight down, you're going to be fine. But when you have to go from here down to here, which you do in this song, a little more challenging. If you can get your 4-finger pattern here, thumb, index, middle, ring, then everybody's assigned to a string a little bit easier. Problem with this one is your most important string, the first string, and it's not that, if in this particular song, the first string isn't terribly important because this is arranged a little bit lower in pitch. But the problem with this pattern, thumb, index, middle, ring on strings 1, 2, 3, and 4, is that your ring finger is now, your dumbest finger is now on using the most important string. But you probably get away with it on this song because the number of notes on string 1, there's only a couple, right? So you're only going to hit that once or twice. And you could reach down with your middle finger to play those as well. And so I think probably for this song, this one makes quite a bit of sense to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, when you're playing the melody. All right, let's dig into the chord melody, tough axe line, and as always, start with the chord, the main chord, G chord here. Okay, I'm holding that down. I'm also grabbing, because I see a 3 on the second string, I'm grabbing the fancier G with the ring and pinky here, and then this is always the same. Okay, so then I'm going to hit this first 0, and then I'm going to strum. Okay, now I've got this held down, and it's a 0. That note's a 0, so I'm going to lift it up, and then ring finger, and then I got to abandon these upper notes to get to the 1. And come right back up to the G chord, but leave the bottom open. Now I'm going to go grab a D chord. Notice on the arrangement, it says go ahead and play the 5th string. And the reason is it creates a bigger sound, right? And we're not needing to be overly subtle here. If you wanted it to be a little more solid, you could just hit 0, 2. And then you're playing the D note as your root note, and it's much more D-ish, but because we don't really care about that in this song, a bigger sound is probably better, and playing the 5th string makes some sense. And then a couple of zeros here. That's where the D's gets emphasized. Then we go back to the G chord at 4, leave the bottom open. Okay, grab your fancy G again, or maybe just your ring only. Back to your D chord, 3 strings. And then an open G chord. Only 4 strings. There's the key right there, right? My thumb, I don't even think about it anymore. My thumb just rests on there. I don't want that string to accidentally go up. You'll hear it when I play it. I miss that. And then you got to reach over here and stop it, right? Or pull back up on it. Not what you want. So just get real comfortable with your thumb resting on the string you're not going to play, and that will solve a whole bunch of problems in terms of this style of play. And then we're going to hit the 0 again. G chord. G chord. D chord. G chord. The 3 there, right? That's a G note in a G chord. It sort of feels like, oh, that's the end of that verse. Now let's go do it some more. And then you go back to the top of the page. Second time you come around, measure 17. Instead of going to the G, we go to this D note, which doesn't feel quite finished. Then we go to the B note, and then you finally finish. Nice G on the bottom, nice G on top, and it's just there. I'm done with my song, and it sounds pretty lovely. I'm checking my lesson plan here. I'm supposed to talk about building different right hand patterns. So this is a great song for this, right? It sounds really nice, but also be mindful, those of you guys who've been around a while, even if you haven't been around a while, is that there's also playing it this way, right? Let me get on the right strings here. Okay, and so that's the other way to be playing. Again, we take these easier songs to practice that type of stuff. Not that this is easy, but it's certainly easier than the songs that you want to play. And you come back to these songs that are a little more tightly put together to practice those techniques. In this case, if I'm wanting to strum it, I'm probably going to be basically right over the hole, get that nice, big, deep, full-bodied sound of the guitar. If I'm plucking, I might move down just a little bit to get a little bit tighter sound to it. might do that. You might not. You might move it up here to get a little deeper sound. Might move it way down here. Elizabeth is my expert on playing down here next to the saddle. You get a real tight sound, right? And so you can get that kind of, I don't know, like you're playing a metal guitar on a 1940s radio. So you get a different feeling for that, and it's kind of fun to practice all of those. You want to practice on these book 2 songs, so that then when you get to book 3 and 4, you can start bringing some of those ideas with you. Using your guitar, this whole stretch of string, you get different timbres as you work your way up here. On ukulele, we'll play clear up here even. It's almost too mushy on guitar, but on ukulele it sounds pretty nice. But on guitar, it's just really, really loose. Whereas here you get a little tighter. Here you get even, and then of course down here. And so you get a lot of tone choices. And if you watch classical guitar players, they'll be using that a lot. Their hands are moving all around here, trying to get a specific tone out of that. All right, there's the more we get together. Let's play it through. Let's play it through twice. From the top. 1, 2. Oh, it's a 2-beat counting. 1, 2. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Go. Pretty little tune. I like that clap song. There we go. The more we get together, that's all of the way. That's everything I know about the more we get together. All right, let's talk Malaguena. And today, it's kind of a weird lesson because this song is not at all a song. It's a collection of ideas, and I want to see. How come I don't have it in my book? Let me just go find Malaguena. LMNOP. M-O-P. Thought this was in the book. Oh, it was in book 4 originally, I think. Book 4. Let me go back. I know it was, yeah, it was originally in book 4, but now I have it in book 3. Moved it down to book 3 because it's really it's one more tool set to take into level 4. So with Malaguena, if you go listen to various versions on the internet, everybody has their own way of doing it. What I did here was arrange sort of the main things that you will hear, and then you're supposed to take these as sections to work on. So really there's section measures 1 through 10 is one section, measures 10 through 17 is another section, measures 18 into 26 is another section, measures 27 through 32, 33, 32 is another section, and then of course 33 to the end is yet another section. So I wouldn't work on this as a song, and that's what I would not do. Let's talk about each section and what I think would make sense in these sections. So the first thing, section measures 1 through 9. You have your E chord, okay, and then it goes to A minor, okay, back to E chord, back to A minor, back to E. That's all it is, right? Okay. And then when you're holding the melody line, I would for sure be playing it with the claw, and I would be thinking, getting a tighter sound. This is okay, but this is better. Okay, and I'm going to be doing it very slowly at first. Switch the chord. Okay, so your A minor one, you have some motion in your left hand. You'll notice measures 1 and 2 and 5 and 6. You're just holding the chord. You're not doing anything. Okay, so let's start with measures 1 and 2 again, and then we'll talk about the motions going on in 3 and 4. From the top, go. Switch your chord. Lose your index. Play your middle. Lose your middle. I'm sorry, ring. Add your ring up on 3. And then lose your ring finger. I'm sorry. When you get to that 2, when you get to major 5, you go back to your E chord. And then go back to the E chord. So I would just work on that one second. You can tell I'm fighting the A minor section just a little bit. So let's go there. Go to measure 4. Got your A minor on. You just basically have to memorize what your ring finger is going to do, and it feels like A minor. The 2 is, you're going to play the 2 with your index finger. And it's open. Then you're going to lose that 2. So that's your ring finger. Let's go back all the way to measure 3, actually, because I'm starting in the middle of the A minor run, and that's not what I want to do. Measure 3, please. Got your A minor on. Index finger is sitting on your 3rd string, so let's play that. This is already open, and this is already down. That 1 is up. Now you lift up your index finger. You've already got a 2 on the 3rd string, so you switch to your index finger in your right hand. Lose the ring. Ring's going to go over to the 3rd fret on the 4th string. That's your thumb. And then while that's going on, you're changing into your E chord and starting the whole pattern again. Fast. Don't try to win. This is what I do. This is my okay. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat this piece of music. Slow. Memorize your positions. Memorize the feeling, so that you don't even have to look. Right now, the big problem I'm having coming out of my A minor, I got to reach my ring finger to right there. I keep reaching it up to here to be the C chord. Right? It doesn't go there. It goes here on this F note, and so you want to. You gotta get that one where it makes sense, right? That's the one. That F note doesn't belong in the song. What the heck is that doing there? And then you do your E chord. So let's do that section one more time, crazy slow. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I hit the wrong note at the very start. Let's go again. Go. Minor. Vic's already into it. She's like, yes, that's exactly why I bought a guitar. It's that E chord right there, in my mind. And of course, over time, you want to be able to play that section at all different speeds. So you might play it real slow like we're doing right now. You might play it super fast. The only way you can do that is by memorizing that A minor run there. You've got to get your ring finger to cooperate. Mine's not being very, very cooperative, but man, that's beautiful, right? So then measures 10 through 17 is another section. You might play that first section real slow to get started, and then come back to it and play it at a medium speed, and then come back to it a third time, play it crazy fast, and come back to it a fourth time and slow it down again. So the key with that section is not the speed, it's you do want to keep the notes nice and steady. Bum 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 ba-dum 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 ba-dum. But you want to keep the notes steady between themselves. But whatever speed you play it at is just going to depend on your mood at any given time. So that's a very recognizable run. You've heard that before. Then let's go into measures 10 through 17, and you'll have heard this section before too. Grab your A minor. Just that, and then grab your G chord. Okay. And here you're going to grab your F chord. Okay, not pleasant, just do it. Back to your E chord. Dum. Okay, and then again, same thing. F chord. You have to grab the full chord, Gary. E chord. So that's a little less familiar, but that's a section where you're probably going to end up playing it a little bit faster than the first section, just partly to get through it, but also it makes more sense at a higher rate of speed. But again, don't work on stuff fast when you're learning it. When you're learning this particular tune, memorize section by section, so that when you see a guitar sitting around unsupervised, you sit down and play this, right? Let's do section 10 through 17 again, real slow. Go. That definitely feels like a transitional part. You probably wouldn't return to this particular section a ton of times, but you might, who knows, but a little less exciting, a little less familiar than the beginning. The next section is starting at 18. You can see already, oh boy, got a lot of stuff going on with these bass strings. This will sound incredibly familiar to you. And if you grab the E chord, you're probably going to have, you're already coming out of an E chord, right? So then we've got to do this, open on here, and then I would be using my ring finger down here probably. 4 with your pinky, 2 is already down, again, pitch 2, switch to A minor, ring, probably, it's a bit of a judgment call. Do I put my 3 down and then with my pinky, or do I just go ahead and raise everybody up and do that? I'm not positive what the best solution here is, but we got to get to the 3 somehow, so I'll probably use my ring right now. Oh, hit the right note. That's the hard one, right? You got to bend the entire chord, and then go back to your E chord. On the right chord from 22, go. going again, measure 27. I guess this is the same as the previous section. Not the same as the previous section at all. Let's go through that just a little bit. Let's go back to 18. I'm on an E chord, okay, opens. I'm going to use my pinky to get up here to this fourth, to that 4 way up there. And then I'm already holding down the 2. And repeat that idea. I'm hitting 3, I need to hit 4, that's why. I would probably just memorize that. So those 2 measures right there, 18 and 19, tucking my pinky finger into getting over to 4. Then at measure 20, go back to your A minor. Probably pinky. Probably, right? If you use your ring, you could then slide your ring back to the 2. So. In my mind, last note of measure 21, that 1 is where the problem is. And then go right back to your E chord. And we've already done this section already, so do that. A minor. I think ring is probably the best. I'm going to tell myself to do ring on those. Ring here, ring, 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 and ring, ring. And I think that's probably makes the most sense. But try it different ways until you find your best fingering. Again, section by section. Okay, not trying to create a song yet. Measure 27 things. I thought it was all the same. It's not. Put your E chord on. Same beginning. Now things change. A minor, grab that. Your 5th string's already open. Try ring. And then you go to a G chord. So then that's where your ring and middle, they're hanging out with nothing better to do, so let's use those. And then you've got your F chord, but you don't need to do the whole F chord, just the 1. And then grab your E chord. In that section there, the faster you play it, the better it'll be. But learn it slow, okay? And then here's something that I think I have wrong, and I think we should change it. You've got your A minor here. Okay, that's what I have written on the paper, right? A minor, G, open G, F chord, and then E. I think you might be better off going from A minor to the G chord up high, same shape as F, just on the 3rd fret. Sounds almost the same, but then you get to slide it back, and then slide it back again. Okay, so that might be a better choice. Gives you a chance to practice those bar chords, and then this G chord here, it's the same as the F chord, it's just on 3. That's how real flamenco guitarists would play it. They probably never play an open G. They don't have any control over it, but you have full control over the G on the 3rd fret with the E shape. Okay, let that ring out, and then the sheet music says rest. take those rests seriously. That's where your palm muting comes in. Stop, stop, stop. F chord. And then again, I put the open chord on here. I don't think that's right. Slide it up to 3. And then E chord. So those are your sections. I think of all of the chords that sound good, or all the sections that sound great to start with and end with, is that first section. That sounds the most Malaguena-ish to me. So I would be looking at, all right, I'm going to start it with measures 1 through 9. I'm going to finish with measures 1 through 9. And then I'm going to mix in these other sections in some meaningful way that makes sense. So what Pauline is saying, hey, I like that shape. What's fascinating is when we first learn F chord, we're just positive that's the end of our lives, right? This is really not pleasant. And I tell everybody, look, I agree, I don't like it either. But once you're like, well, I'm going to be using it, I might as well start accepting the fact I'm not going to quit guitar over this, right? Because now we're going to be using it as a G. And that's how real guitar players, Spanish guitar players, would handle it. And then also know there's an A chord on the 5th. And then when you're like, well, that's pretty useful. That's kind of handy. I think I'll do that from now on. Then you're gone. That's it. Then you are officially welcomed into the crazy land called guitar. And as soon as you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to make my G chord this way instead of this way, you're done. You are officially never quitting guitar, because nobody who's starting a guitar is thinking, yeah, that makes sense, I'll do that. You're like, how do I avoid doing this? Why will you do this? Okay. But this works out particularly in Spanish music, where you're going to have a lot of those big chord runs. And then I would go back to the beginning of the song and put that in. So think of Malaguena as pieces and parts that people throw together in different ways. And of course, when you go on the internet and listen to a few Malaguenas, they got all of this, plus they toss in other, motifs to make the song theirs. And so everybody has their own Malaguena. I give you the multiple parts of it here, and then you figure out what you're going to do to put it all together. That's it. That's all I know about being a Spanish guitarist. You can tell I have 0 drops of Spanish blood in me, but I sure do like that song. And I'm working on a whole Spanish medley, and it is something that this guitar and Spanish music really just get along really well. And so as soon as it's a lot of typing, but it's coming together, I feel pretty excited about it. It'll be out hopefully by summer, and we'll work on it then. But this gives you a good flavor of Spanish music there. So there's that. Guys, don't forget we have our level 4 meeting tonight. Yesterday, Blackbird, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Here Comes the Sun is our new song for the week. And then the super secret, I'm calling them DGO Mysteries, Denver Guitar Orchestra Mysteries, DGO number 2. Tonight we will discuss it. We'll talk about how you attack a piece of music with no tablature, how you begin to start memorizing where those notes are on your fretboard. Some of you already have them memorized. Some of you are thinking, I don't ever want to do that. And that's okay too. But it is a pretty little song. And if I remember right, I counted them out. I think there's 9 total notes in that song. And it's just like, wow, that's really lovely. So we'll talk about it tonight. And then next week we will plan on playing the thing, and then I think every 2 weeks we will have a non-tabbed song and then a performance of them. So that's my plan anyway. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope the weather's good where you are. Ours is gonna pick up. They said 50 degrees today, so I'm hoping that's kind of turns it around. Nancy's into it. Thanks, Nancy. Good to see you. Pauline, pouring rain all day there will give me something to work on. Yay, that's good. We need more rain up there, Pauline. That's lovely to hear that it's raining up there finally. Vic, we do like the Spanish music, right? That's what makes guitar like, wow, that's really sweet. Elizabeth, measure 18 melody, 8V lower, but only a few strings apart. Elizabeth, measure 18. Elizabeth, measure 18. So you could lower that melody line there. By lowering it, you mean raising it by pitch? I don't know what you mean. I'm positive what you mean there, Elizabeth, but Elizabeth is already looking around for other notes to toss in there, is what she's really going to do, sounds like. The melody is 8 feet lower, but will only a few strings apart. Yeah. I like 18 because the melody and the accompaniment are so far apart. Boom, 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 boom. But you could put it on to you could raise that melody part up, and it would be very, very cool as well. So good idea, Elizabeth. I didn't think about that, but that'd be fun. Melody is an octave lower, and it looks really hard, but it's oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it looks crazy on the paper, and you're like, oh god, but it's not. It's that's the beauty of guitar. If you saw that on piano, you'd be like, oh no, it's going to be this kind of nonsense. But on guitar, everything's arranged. And that's what you'll find. Music written by guitarists for guitar is usually quite a bit smarter and easier to play than music written on another instrument and forced onto guitar. And so when you're thinking, well, I'm going to study a particular composer, you'd be probably better off to study Carcassi than Bach, or you'd probably be way better to study Sohr or these guys, Giuliani, instead of Mozart and Chopin on guitar, because it does not. Those guys were playing for a different instrument, and when you do your arrangements, sometimes things don't work quite as clean as you want them to. But if a guitarist wrote it, it's going to work great on guitar. And so that's what's happening with Malaguena. Lots of people have put their thought and effort into this and turned it into a kind of a neat tune. So, all right, that's it. That's what I know. You guys have a wonderful day. And what French composer should we study? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't remember the French guitar school. There's probably a couple. You probably know more than I do, Elizabeth. You go find for me. I was working on La Vie en Rose earlier for Harmonica, and I love that song. And I need to do some more French music. Find me a good French guitarist, and let's see what they wrote. It's got to sound like Paris, though. We got to find that guy. Find us one. The super secret song is he French? Let me look. Let me see. I don't think they're French. He might be. The super secret composer is going to be yeah, I think they're French. Yes. Maybe French Canadian. I don't know. All right, Elizabeth, you're trying to pry into secret information I'm not giving you. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.